Page 24, North Wind. On pages 22 and 23, they have some little things that you can do and have fun with. I don't really cover this stuff in the videos. So you're welcome to ask me any questions. Just briefly, at the top of page 22, they want you to write in the note names for each of those notes. And hopefully, if you're doing the play and say drill I've been trying to get you to do, you'll just know these. You need to know the names of all these notes instantly. Really. Because we're going to be adding notes, so don't get behind. Then for the birthday cake thing, what they want you to do is write in how many counts each of those notes are going to get. And it's a good thing they tell you that a quarter note gets one count. Because if they didn't tell you that, you wouldn't know how many notes or how many counts they get. Because a quarter note doesn't have to get a count. It could be some other note gets a count. So they got to tell you what note gets a count. And from there you can figure out if a quarter note gets a count, then a half note gets 2 counts, and you have to add them together. They want to know how many counts total are on the cake. So it's like in the one with the candle, that's 1 count. I guess they want you to draw in the candles. I can't draw where the hoop, so hopefully you can. And the second cake with a half note and a quarter note, well, that would be 3 counts, so you draw in 3 candles. And the next one is a half note, well, that's 2 counts, so you draw in 2 candles, and you just do them all that way. On page 23, we're getting into counting more. Well, I've already covered the counting. We've been doing counting all along. I'm not quite sure what we need to do here. They want you to write in the counts underneath the notes, and they give you an example up there. So you can do that. If you have any questions, you let me know. For instance, in the first line, you have 2 quarter notes. Well, that would be a 1 and a 2 underneath the quarter notes. And then under the half note would be a 3, 4, 3, 4, because the half note gets 2 counts. And then you just keep going across. When you get to the whole note, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd put in all 4 numbers because that's how many counts it gets. At the top of page 24, they're introducing a new time signature for you. If you understand how the numbers in a time signature work, it doesn't matter what the numbers are, you can figure out any time signature. Seriously, it works wherever. Remember, the top number tells you how far you're counting, or how many counts are in a measure. We've had 2, 4, and we've had 4, 4. The bottom number tells you what you're counting, because if you're going to count something, it'd be nice to know what you're counting. And a 4 means quarter note. You just have to memorize 4 means quarter note. So in 2, 4, there's the same as 2 quarter notes in every measure. In 4, 4, there's the same as 4 quarter notes in every measure. Well, you can guess what 3, 4 is going to do. You're just going to go to 3. However, this lets me talk a little bit about another part of interpreting music. Another aspect, I've been talking about it in the videos prior. We need to get into interpreting the music. Make it musical, not just note, 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 note. People think, well, okay, I'm going to play this. Okay, I got all the notes in the rhythm. Let's go on. What's the next one? You're missing out on most of what music is about when you do that. So please don't. We need to think about feeling it and turning it into music, interpreting the music. And the first thing, and I haven't talked about it yet, but I'm talking about it now, the first thing to think about in interpreting music is the natural accents. An accent is when you put a little more stress on a note. You put it just a little bit louder than the other note. An accent, boom, a little bit louder. If I'm going here and I want to accent a note, I just put stress on it. Now, I exaggerated it. I put a lot of stress on it so you could hear it better, because the electronics I'm using want to even out the volume. So I have to exaggerate it here in order to get it to come out in the video. But just a little extra stress. Okay, that's an accent. A natural accent is an accent that happens naturally. You feel it. You don't force it, you just feel it. The strongest natural accent there is in any time signature is the first beat of a measure. So in 2/4, it's 1, 2, 1. You feel this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. In 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You feel this. I'm exaggerating it so you can get it across better. I understand, but really you just feel these. 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You feel these. That's part of interpreting it. You may not feel it when you're learning the piece because you're focusing on the notes and everything. But once you get the notes and everything pretty much automatic, you start feeling the music. You feel the natural accents. Now, I'll talk more about them as we go through the book. Now, in the middle of the page, sort of, they talk about a note with a dot behind it. I don't want to get into this too deeply right now, but the dot is important. They show you a half note with a dot, and you see a lot of these in 3/4 time. A half note with a dot is called, you ready? A dotted half note. Yeah, I'm here all week, folks. Yeah. The way it works here is the half note's going to get 2 counts in 3/4 time. It gets 2 counts because a quarter note gets a count, a half note gets 2 counts. The dot gets another count. So a dotted half note is the same as 3 counts. You can also look at it as a dotted half note is the same as 3 quarter notes. And it doesn't matter what the time signature is on that one. It's always the same as 3 quarter notes. Always. And in North Wind, in the last measure, you get a dotted half note. It simply means you're going to hold that note down for 3 counts because the dot adds another count in this case. I'll talk more about dotted notes as we go through the book, and we get other kinds of dotted notes. So let's look at North Wind. It's 4 measures long, treble and bass clef, 3/4 time signature. So now we're just counting to 3. Quarter notes, and at the end there's a dotted half note. All right. The hands are only playing one at a time, so I'm going to take both hands together. It starts out with the left hand on middle C here. That puts the hand here. In the 3rd measure, the right hand has 2nd finger on a D here, so that puts here. We're still in middle C position. And it's just get the notes first. Don't worry about the rhythm or none of that. And you should play and say the name of the note. Drill yourself constantly on the names of the notes. You gotta know them instantly. It's C. Like so. That last note is held for 3 counts. Once you have the notes and the rhythms down okay, then we can think a little bit about the interpretation. And in interpreting music, the first thing I always focus on is the natural accents. So here, 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1. And if I have to at first, I'll exaggerate them so I can feel them better. I hear. Eventually, I want to get the exaggeration out. I just want to feel them. Here. It should be clear to the listener, because they can't see the music. It's clear to the listener where the first beat of a measure is. It should be clear. And I've heard even professionals sometimes don't get it. I'm thinking that the certain beat they're playing is the first beat of the measure, and it's actually a different one. That's because they've messed up the natural accents. So make sure you get the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then after that, we think about the phrasing or the lifting up. Well, this is all just one phrase. You just connect it all together. It's just one thought. It's just one thought all the way through. You just connect it. As far as the speed goes, it's up to you. However fast you want your wind to go, it doesn't have to go super duper fast. Let's play this together slowly and double check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 3 counts because there's 3 beats in a measure. I'm going to go 1, ready, go. That's 3. Let's try it. 1, ready, go. 3, off. There's a teacher's part to this, so we can do a duet. I'd like to do that. And you play what we just played, and we're going to take it the same speed. But I'm going to play quarter notes throughout because you need to hear the beat. So I'll make something up. 1, ready, go.